In today's video, we are going to learn how to have some fun on the floor. Now, there's really two purposes to making this video. One is, if you've been around for a while, you know I talk about this a lot. Every single human being should be getting on the floor every single day. It is something that most of us take for granted until we unintentionally end up down on the floor, and then we can't get up, and that is when it becomes a real problem. Most people that end up hospitalized after a fall, one potential reason is because someone could not get up off the floor and they spent a prolonged amount of time down on the floor before they were able to get help. So I think it's hugely valuable for all of us to be doing every single day, especially as we're aging, getting up into our 60s, 70s, and 80s, where we might just kind of unconsciously stop getting down there because we just don't feel like we'll be able to get back up, or the amount of effort that takes to get back up just seems like a little bit too much. And that's really when you have to be intentional about getting on the floor every single day. And so in this video, we're going to go over some exercises that are not only going to work on building your strength, your stamina, and your endurance, but also going to work on getting down to the floor and some, what I consider some important mobility skills that everyone should be able to do on the floor in order to be able to get back up off the floor as we age. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara. I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel we talk about anything and everything related to mobility, health, fitness, and mindset in the context of neurologic injury, with the end goal of empowering you with as many tools as possible to take ownership of your rehab and your health to live an overall more active, more mobile, pain-free, happier, healthier life. Now, before we dive into the exercises, as you guys have kind of become accustomed to on this channel in recent weeks, there will be a handout that goes along with this video. The handout will have pictures of the exercises that we go through, along with some brief descriptions on how to perform each exercise, so that if you want to incorporate these exercises into your daily routine, which I highly recommend, you will be able to do it without having to come back and rewatch this entire video. So to get access to that handout, link for that is in the description below. But now let's go ahead and dive into the exercises. Now, before we actually get to the exercises, I think it's always important to review how to get down to the floor and how to get back up. Now, I do have full videos on how to get up from the floor, and I will link those videos in the description below, but you should never get down to the floor if you're not confident that you could get back up. So if you haven't been on the floor or you are concerned about that, definitely work with a physical therapist to make sure that you have the ability to get down to the floor and get back up if you have any concerns at all. But the simplest way to get down to the floor, or to kind of start testing out whether or not you have the ability to get down to the floor, is to try and just go from a chair kind of down to one knee and then see if you can get back up to the chair, because that's step one. That's probably the most difficult part in getting up off the floor if you're someone that has a lot of mobility limitations. So you just want to see, can you get to one knee? It's not the only way to get up, but it is probably the easiest in the early stages. Can you get down to one knee, and can you push with your arm to get back up in the chair? Okay, so let me show that to you from the side. So I'm using my arm, I'm dropping down to one knee, and then I'm using my arm to push back up. Okay, so that is super, super important to be able to do, but prior to getting on the floor. And then the other skill that you want to make sure that you can do is, can you go from your back onto your stomach and push up onto your knees, like getting into the fetal position, and get to your knees, because that would be the next step. So from here, if we were going to come back up, you have to be able to get to here in order to bring that foot forward to push back up into the chair. So kind of be visualizing those two skills in your head, because you do really need to be able to do those skills to make sure that you can get up off the floor if you try any of these exercises. Now, I will say, a lot of the exercises that we're going to do, if you are unsure, you could also do some of these in your bed if you had a queen or a king size bed. So that would be another option to be able to incorporate some of these exercises into your home exercise routine if you're not confident that you can get on the floor. Okay, so that's just to make sure everyone can get up once they get down there. But now let's go ahead and get down to the floor and start working on these full body strengthening exercises that will also improve your ability to move around on the floor. All right, so what we're doing for this exercise, as you can see, we're just gonna dive right in and get started rolling around on the ground. You're just basically rolling from side to side and then kind of like propping yourself up into what we call side sitting. So you're gonna start on your stomach, kind of roll onto one arm and push. Roll back to your stomach, roll onto the other arm and push. And roll back and push. All right, and then these are in no particular order, but here's a great way to incorporate an arm exercise into kind of a floor mobility skill. Basically just going from your stomach, using both arms to push really hard to push back onto your knees. So stomach, push with those arms, and push back, sit that bottom back over your heels, and then back to your stomach, push, and sit back. If you can't push to get all the way from your stomach all the way up, you can just do like a modified push and sit back, push and sit back. If you can't get from your stomach, but you don't have enough arm strength to push from your stomach all the way back, you can start by just doing a little weight on your arms, push back, little bit of weight and push back, little bit of weight and push back. Again, working on arm strength, but also a very, very important floor mobility skill. All right, now for this exercise, what we're working on is just scooting that bottom across the floor, but also incorporating a little bit of an arm and a leg workout into this as well as your core. So you're just gonna push down with your hands, dig your heels in, and scoot your bottom forward. Move the hands, move the feet, push down, dig your heels in and scoot forward. Walk those feet out, move those hands forward, down and scoot forward. Now, for some of you that have weakness on one side or you have a weak arm and you can't use it, equally as beneficial for you to just do this on one side. Absolutely critical if you needed to get around on the floor. So definitely practice this, even though you feel like you're only doing it with one arm or you're not using one arm. Still very valuable skill. Same thing, dig the heels in, but now you're just going to kind of lean to one side and leverage your body over one side. And scoot forward. Same thing, leverage on one arm, push and scoot, push and scoot. Push with that arm and push your bottom back. All right, so for this one, we're just combining some rolling, absolutely critical if you happen to fall onto your back, being able to roll to your stomach, but also really doing these little tuck ups in the middle to kind of engage your core a little bit, get a little bit of a core workout into it. But again, we're just trying to incorporate two essential things, a strengthening exercise with working on floor mobility skills. So again, let me show that to you one more time. Start on your back with your arms over your head, tuck up, roll, straighten your body out, continue that roll and tuck up, end in the tuck up. All right, and then tuck back up, roll, straighten your body out, tuck up, and bring those legs down. All right, so just another variation in getting up off the floor. Always a good idea to eventually learn to get up off the floor without using your hands if at all possible. So this would be one way to position yourself eventually to practice getting up to your knees without using your hands, right? So you're going kind of from like the side sitting position and then up onto your knees. But we're gonna just start with the arm down and you're just going to try and lift your bottom. Switch those legs around, lift that bottom, switch the legs around, lift, switch the legs around, and lift. All right, so for this one, we're just working on learning how to bring those legs forward. But again, you're getting an arm workout out of this and a leg workout out of this exercise. So there's two variations. The harder variation is keeping both hands down, requires a little bit more hip strength and mobility. You're just going to bring that leg forward, bring the other leg forward. If you can't do that, then you can do with the arm lift. That just gives you a little bit more room to bring that leg through. Switch and lift. Switch and lift. Switch and lift. And switch and lift. All right, now this one is not super easy, but we're basically just kind of pushing back onto your feet. If you don't have good range of motion in your ankles, this might be a little bit challenging, but if you can't do it picking your arms up off of the floor, put a chair or something in front of you, and if you have your arms up a little bit higher, then it might be a little bit easier to get back. But again, you're just going from your knees, pushing back, and then if you can, lift your hands, and then back down. Tap your knees, push back, lift your hands, put your hands back down, and drop those knees back down. Push back, lift your hands, drop your hands back down, and rock back onto your knees. All right, and then for this one, hugely valuable, but also very difficult, alternating bringing your legs forward. So shifting your weight onto one knee, bring the opposite leg forward, back down, shift onto the other knee, bring the other leg forward, and back down, shift, bring it forward, and back down. If you need to hold on to a counter or even a wall, definitely do that. That'll make it a little bit easier. And back down, reach for the wall, bring it forward, and back down. And then that is it for this video. I hope you guys found this video interesting and hopefully just a little bit of fun, being able to add a little fun to your home exercise program. If you like these exercises and you're adventurous and you really want to add these to your home exercise program, don't forget there is a handout that has just the images of all the exercises so that you don't have to come back and watch this video every time you do the exercises. If you like this type of video and you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. If you want to get exercises throughout the week, you can head on over to Instagram where I post 1 to 2 videos every single week just to help add a little variety and keep your home exercise program fresh and new. If you want to go a little bit deeper and get your specific questions answered, you can join our monthly gold membership program. With your membership, you will get access to our monthly lives where you can submit questions in advance, and I answer those once a month live with all the members. You will also get access to over 400 rehab-specific or neuro-specific exercises to help with a variety of mobility issues, as well as access to our Discord channel where you can interact with other members as well as ask your questions. And I pop in there throughout the week and I can answer your questions over there as well. So more information for our Gold Monthly Membership Program is in the description below. I enjoyed spending time with you all today and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.